Today, we're going to hear from Megan about her December family holiday trip. That's coming up on this episode 494 of WDW Prep To Go. Hello and welcome to WDW Prep To Go. We talk strategy and ideas and have lots and lots of trip reports for people planning their Disney World trips. I'm your host, Shannon Albert from WDWPrepSchool.com. And this might be episode 494, but it is my first that is going on YouTube in video form. And I'm very, very nervous about it for some reason. I think it's because I've been in such a routine for years. I know the editing routine, I know the recording routine, and everything has changed now. So for audio listeners, it might sound exactly the same, which is how I want it. But for video, it had to be different. I have a different editing workflow. And if you're on YouTube, obviously you're going to be able to see me and the guests speaking, but also some things inserted, like the pictures that the guests send in and that sort of thing. So if YouTube is your thing, and it's definitely mine, I am a podcast listener on YouTube now. Feel free to head over to the YouTube channel and listen there. But if you're an audio listener, then all of that is going to stay the same. You just have more options now. So I think I am going to just jump right in now to my conversations with Megan.
Welcome to the podcast, Megan.
Hi, Shannon.
You and I are talking on the morning of Thursday, December 4th. You told me you're going to Walt Disney World.
Yes.
And what are your dates?
So we leave on December 12th, Friday, December 12th, and then we return on Saturday, December 20th.
Okay. Who's we?
It's going to be myself, my husband, and our 4 kids. We have 3 boys, ages 16, 14, and 7, and then we have our daughter is 10.
Okay. And you're not first timers, right?
No, it's only my kids' second time to go as a trip, but my husband and I have been several times.
Okay. And what made you want to take 8 days and go this time of year?
We've never been Christmas time before. We've always been when it's really hot. And I've always wanted to see the Christmas decorations as well. So we decided that this is going to be our Christmas present to our kids this year, our big gift.
Okay. You're doing Christmas before Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And how are you getting there?
So we're flying out of DFW. We live in Round Rock near Austin, but we're flying out of DFW. So when we leave on Friday the 12th, we're actually just driving up to DFW. We're going to spend the night in a hotel there and then fly out that next morning.
Okay. And is that just because you had better flight options, I guess?
Yes, my husband is not a big fan of Southwest, and they're the only ones that fly direct from Austin. So we used his American Airlines miles. He works out of town a lot, and so he earns miles, and we were able to get the flights for free. And it's a direct flight from DFW to Orlando.
As somebody who used to fly to Orlando a lot directly from DFW, I love Southwest. I used to anyway. Who knows how it is now?
He's a big guy. He's 6'5", and he feels like the seats aren't as big and roomy as American Airlines. So
they are bigger. So I like to lean down on the tray in front of me on the plane, and I can only do it on Southwest. I can't do it on American.
Yeah, I don't know. I love Southwest too, but he's just not a fan.
He needs first class.
He does. When he flies for business, he always does first class, but I don't think we're doing first class with the kids. But
Southwest doesn't have first class for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but free, it's hard to beat free. So you're flying out of DFW and going to Orlando directly on Friday, December 12th, right?
We're actually not flying out until that next morning on Saturday, the 13th.
Okay.
So we're going to spend that night in DFW.
Okay. So December 12th is that you drive.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Got it. And then the 13th is when you fly out to, is that a morning flight?
It is. We fly at 8:08 a.m. and we land at 11:44.
Okay. And then what's your plan after you land?
So we did book Mears Connect to transport us. We're actually Originally, our dates were going to be the 14th through the 20th, and then with the airline miles, it worked out better, the 13th through the 20th. So this first night, we're actually going to spend at Disney Springs. So Mears Connect is going to take us, and we're checking into the Hilton Orlando Buena Vista Palace. So we're going to spend that first night in Disney Springs.
Now, accommodations for 6 people. Not easy, right?
No, and I believe my husband booked those 2 because he's also a Hilton member and he got that room for free, but I believe he had to book 2 rooms there.
Mhm. And then we'll get to your Disney World hotel next, but any other plans on this day, like in Disney
I
Springs or something?
think we'll just go to Disney Springs, maybe walk around, see all the trees and things like that. I do wanna eat at Polite Pig. I've heard really good things about it. We haven't eaten there yet, and I feel like that's easier than just getting reservation. I wasn't sure if we'd have delays with flights and things, so we're just gonna kind of
Yeah,
do
Polite Pig's on
whatever.
my list of quick service that's better than most table service.
Yeah, I've heard really good
Mhm.
things, so we're excited.
So good. Okay, so decor and Polite Pig and Disney Springs, and is that
Mhm.
kind of it on that day?
I think so, unless it's warm enough to maybe have some pool time. My kids love the pool, so we might do that if we have time.
Yeah, and we're talking a week out, so who knows how accurate the forecast would be. But as of
Mhm.
right now, it says highs of 70.
And, for me, that's cold. Like,
But
I could
for
not get in the
pool.
pool,
No, for
especially, like,
pool.
living in Texas, yeah.
Mhm. No, I'm not getting in the pool in 70-degree weather,
Yeah.
but you said that you've only gone during hot weather, so if the lows
Mhm.
are like 55 and highs are 70, that might be a nice change for you.
Yes, yeah.
Just maybe not swimming for some of us. Okay.
Mhm.
Alright, so Sunday, December 14th,
So
which hotel are you switching to?
we check out of the Hilton, and I'm still trying to figure out how we're gonna get to we're checking into Pop Century, and we have 2 rooms booked at Pop Century. I'm trying to figure out what the best way is to get from the Hilton to Pop Century because my thought was maybe one of us could book an Uber and take all the luggage, and then the rest of the family could take the bus, but I know the buses, I don't think start running until 10, is that right?
I think it's around then, yeah.
Yeah, so I really haven't figured that out yet. That's probably gonna be a last minute decision, but we do check into Pop Century. We'll probably drop our luggage off, and then again, we have that free water park option. We might do that if it's warm enough. I just don't know.
Yeah.
If not, we're gonna plan to maybe do, like, resort crawl and go see all the Christmas decorations at the resorts and things because we don't have a park ticket for this day.
Okay. So no park ticket, maybe water park, decor, etcetera, and you will likely get connecting rooms, right?
Yes. Mhm.
At Pop
I
Century.
requested those. Mhm.
Yes, and I think their official rule is if you have more kids than adults, that they will grant it, like, for sure,
Okay.
and you
Good.
do.
Good to know.
So,
Yes.
yeah, I think that's the rule. That makes sense, right? You wouldn't want the kids to
Mhm.
be totally separate. Okay, and have you ever stayed at Pop Century before?
I have, yes. I don't think my husband has. I used to do travel agent stuff on the side, and so I've been to Disney more times than he has, and so that's usually my go-to when I go by myself.
Mhm. Yep, and 2 rooms is one of the best ways to do it. You'll
Mhm.
have 4 beds, 2 bathrooms.
Yes, it will be nice.
That will be nice. Okay. So Monday, December 15th.
Oh, I do wanna mention that we do have a beaches and cream reservation this day. I wanna do the kitchen sink with the kids. We did it for our first trip years ago, and they loved it, although my younger 2 don't remember it, but we wanna do the kitchen sink this day.
When's that reservation?
That is at 4:20.
Okay. Good luck with that. But you
I have big boys. My older 2 are over 6 foot, so
I was gonna say you
I
have the
think we
best
could do it.
group for that because you have some
Mhm.
hungry teenagers.
Mhm.
So, okay. Now are you ready for Monday, December 15th?
Yes, Monday, December 15th. So that's gonna be our Epcot day. We do have park hopper tickets, but we're not planning to park hop this day. So we're gonna start at Epcot. We're gonna rope drop and go in the International Gateway on the Skyliner. And then my plan right now is to rope drop Remy's and then head to Frozen. And then as far as lightning lanes go, I haven't been able to book I booked Sunday for those, but my plan is to book Test Track, Living with the Land, and Soarin' for our lightning lanes.
Okay.
And then we
And
also will plan to buy Guardians for that day.
okay. All right. So you'll be set. That'll be really easy at Epcot.
Mhm.
Any so you're the teenagers, are they okay with rope dropping and getting up early?
They are, I think, for Disney. Like, normally getting them up for school is pretty difficult, but I think they'll be fine once we're there, and I think they'll be excited. If not, I'm okay with them sleeping in, and I feel like they're old enough to where they could come a little later if they needed to.
Mhm.
But the
Exactly.
plan is to rope drop.
Okay. Any other plans on this Epcot day, like for dining?
I don't have any dining booked this day, mainly because I know that there's gonna be a bunch of booths and snacks that we want to try, so we didn't book any dining for this day.
Mhm. Okay.
Oh, and just so I didn't mention this, but we do have the free quick service dining with our package. So we had the 5-day park hoppers, and it came with the free quick dining.
Okay. Free quick service dining plan. I think people might be surprised how many promos they actually have during the holidays.
Yeah, I booked this back in March. It was a part of I have the Visa credit card, the Disney card, and it was a promo for that.
Mhm. All right. Are we ready for Tuesday, December 16th?
Yes. So on Tuesday, am I frozen on your end? I'm sorry. The video's frozen.
Yeah. You are, but I
Okay.
can still hear you.
Okay. So on Tuesday, December 16th, we'll start off at Magic Kingdom. We're planning to rope drop that as well. Instead of paying for Seven Dwarfs, I want to go straight to Seven Dwarfs and then to Peter Pan. We've done that in the past, and that seems to work well without doing lightning lanes. So plan is to get a burner lightning lane for Winnie the Pooh and then book Tiana's and Haunted Mansion. I'm not sure if we'll do Tron this day because this is a party day. My husband really wants to ride Tron at night. We haven't ridden it yet. So we might wait and just book a lightning lane on the day that we'll be there at night. So we do have a Beacon Barrel reservation at $350 this day. And then our plan, since it is a party day, we're going to hop to Hollywood Studios.
Okay. I understand the need for park hoppers during party season.
Yes, we didn't do park hoppers last time, but I think this is a good time of year to do it with all the parties. Take advantage of the lower crowds, so.
What are you hoping to do when you get to Hollywood Studios?
I don't have any set plans for that other than I really wanna take the kids to see Fantasmic. They've never seen it. I got to see it in September in Disneyland, but they've never seen it, so that's the main plan. I don't know if we'll have time to ride any rides before that or not, but we'll see.
You might, especially if you're using lightning lanes. Maybe you'll start
Mhm.
booking them for Hollywood Studios at some point.
Yeah. So, that's the plan right now.
Okay. Wednesday, December 17th.
So this day we're kinda gonna do the opposite. We're gonna rope drop Hollywood Studios on this day. So my plan for lightning lanes, I almost said Fast Pass, is Slinky Dog, Toy Story Mania, and Tower of Terror. And then we are going to rope drop Mickey and Minnie's.
You rope dropping Mickey and Minnie's. Okay.
Yes.
Got it.
I didn't really wanna get stuck in the crowd of Slinky Dog or even Rise, so
I don't blame you. I won't do it. I won't do
Yeah.
the most popular thing for that reason.
Yeah, I typically won't, but yes, we're gonna avoid that day. Rise of the Resistance, we're not gonna buy a single pass for this. I've been kind of looking at the wait times, and I think there are some times that it's down to, like, 30 minutes sometimes, so I'm fine with waiting for Rise for that amount of time, and that'll save us a little bit of money.
Everything you have to multiply by 6. It just makes
Yes.
it feel that much more,
Yes.
It's insane. Like, I only have to book for 2 people usually when I go, and I'm like,
Mhm.
hundreds of dollars. So, times 6.
It is a lot. So and I don't know if you want me to tell you, like, our budget and our money right now, but I can go over that after we're done with this.
I'll add a note to ask you in the after chat.
Okay.
Post trip.
Okay, sounds good. So, and then I don't really have any set reservations that day at Hollywood Studios, but we are going to go to Magic Kingdom. We're going to hop over at some point. And then we do have the Magic Kingdom post party dessert party, and that's at 8 p.m.
Okay. Post fireworks dessert party. Have you ever done the dessert party?
We did the pre-party at our last family trip. But our older two remember it. I don't think our younger two were old enough. They were 4 and 1, so they don't remember much about it at all.
Okay. That will be fun for everybody.
Yeah.
Any other plans before we move on to the next day?
Nope, well, that's it.
Okay, Thursday, December 18th.
So Thursday, December 18th, that's gonna be our Animal Kingdom day. We're gonna rope drop. I know I don't like to, like, rope drop and go to the most popular ride, but to save money, I think we're gonna rope drop Flight of Passage. And then our lightning lanes will be Na'vi, Kilimanjaro Safari, and Expedition Everest. And I don't know how popular Zootopia is. I thought about maybe doing that one as one of our first 3. Have you heard whether that's, like, selling out or
I was there the first week that it was open. Although it was hard to get lightning in the first couple of days.
Mhm.
It is not that difficult now. Meeting Nick and Judy is the harder part, but you can't book a late for that.
Okay. So we do definitely want to do that, but I think we'll wait.
I think it'll be fine. It's just kind of a continuous thing, you know? They
Mhm.
load lots of people in frequently.
For dining, I did book Tusker House this day. That was our favorite character dining our last trip, so that's at 9:15 in the morning.
Okay. All right. Any other plans on this day?
We don't have plans to hop anywhere. I really wanna see the Tree of Life when it's dark. We've never gotten to see it before because it's always closed before it gets dark. So, I think we definitely wanna do that. I don't know if we'll hop anywhere after, or we might just be so tired that we just go back and rest.
Yeah. I do think that's an interesting thing about going this time of year, if we're used to going during the, like, summer months or something,
Mhm.
is that Animal Kingdom is in the bright daylight most of the time.
Yeah.
So, that's what they need to
Mhm.
leave it open longer. That's
I know,
why
at least till 8 o'clock or something. It's not
Yes,
too.
why build such pretty things, including, like, the tree lit up or Pandora,
Yes.
and then not let most people see it?
Yeah, that's another thing I wanna see is Pandora at night. We have not gotten to see that either.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I think they should go back to that.
Yes.
Friday, December 19th?
So this day we don't it's kind of free. We don't really have any plans. I did book Topolino's Terrace, and I might cancel that one because I don't know if we wanna do 2 back-to-back character dinings, but that's at 9:05, so we've got that booked for right now. And then we have an Ogre's reservation at 3. And this day, I think we're just gonna maybe go repeat rides that were our favorites and just kinda have a free day and figure out what we wanna do. I don't know if we'll go to every park, but we'll probably just repeat our favorites.
On these longer trips, I really love this free day
Mhm.
because you never know. You on your Epcot day, maybe it rains, you don't get to everything that you want. You're like, "You know what? Let's go on this day and hit the things that we missed."
Yeah, I feel like it takes some of the pressure off of you don't have to get everything done on that day, so.
And you don't know what everybody's gonna be really into.
Right.
So, maybe it's a revisit, so I like
Yes.
that.
Yep.
Okay, and then Saturday, December 20th is departure?
Yes, we have a 9:33 flight, so I'm sure they'll pick us up around 6:30 is what I'm thinking. It's usually 3 hours. And then we get back to DFW at 11:39, and our plan is to just drive home from there. Takes about 2.5 hours.
Mhm. Alright. Gonna be fun. I'm happy for you to get to see all the holiday stuff.
I know, I'm excited. And my little one's like, this is gonna be, like, their first trip because they just don't really remember anything, so
Mhm.
it's exciting.
Okay. Is there anything we haven't talked about?
I don't think I mentioned the fact that this is kind of a surprise trip. My younger 2 definitely don't know. My older one, I kinda had to tell him because he has a job, and so I had to tell him he had to take off. And then my middle one, my 14-year-old, he kinda figured it out. So they know, but my younger 2 don't, so we're gonna surprise them. I think I'm gonna wrap, like, a present with their magic band. We have a shirt for them, some pins, and their autograph book, and then we'll put that under the tree and let them open that, like, when they get home from school that day on the 12th. So,
That's really fun. I hope the surprise goes well. Have you been doing anything to kind of prep them, like secretly
yes.
watching things and
Yes,
talking
so
about things?
we've been watching videos on YouTube and,
Mhm.
like, looking at all the snacks on YouTube and things like that, and watching things on Disney Plus that have to do with the parks, and so they've been begging to go to Disney World, and I'm like, "Well, maybe next year, we'll see." Like, we've been kind of, like, blowing it off, but I think that's gonna make it even better, that it's a
Okay.
surprise for them.
Alright. So they do kinda know what's going on. They just don't know
Mhm.
that they get to go.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, have a fantastic time, and I'll talk to you
Thank
in a couple
you.
weeks.
Yes, thank you, Shannon.
Welcome back from your trip, Megan.
Thank you, Shannon.
We're talking on Saturday, December 27th, so you've been back a whole week.
Yes, a week today.
And between that and the holidays and everything, how are you feeling?
I haven't really had time to let the depression set in, the post-Disney blues, because I've been so busy trying to get ready for Christmas, so this is the first day I've had to really, like, sit and realize that we've been back for a week, and now I'm like, "How can I book another trip?"
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
But did it go well?
It was one of our best trips that we've had, and I don't know how I'm gonna go back without seeing all the Christmas decorations because that was just so magical.
Aw, good. We've had a string of episodes where people have said this is the best trip ever, which FYI, if you're trying to be a podcast guest, not a requirement.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely wasn't perfect, but it was great.
No, I'm always happy when it goes well, but if it doesn't go well, there's always things to learn from there as well. But I'm glad that your trip was so good that you can't imagine it being better. So
Yeah.
let's talk through it.
Yeah.
Friday, December 12th, you were driving to DFW Airport so that you could fly out the next day. How
Yes.
did your flight to Orlando go on Saturday?
It was fine. We got to DFW around 9 on Friday, got into bed. My husband and I didn't get to bed until about 11, but that was fine. Woke up the next morning around 4 because we wanted to be at the airport pretty early. Our flight actually had gotten changed a little bit earlier. I think I told you originally we were going to take off around 9, and it ended up being around 7:30 that our flight got changed. So we had to get an early wake up.
Wait, but
Yeah.
other people didn't get them that high.
I know, but I mean, I'm fine with it because I'm like, "Oh, we get there earlier." So, yeah. But I could see where where there would be issues.
That's kind of scary, but okay, it worked out for you.
Yes.
So you got to Orlando before
We landed around 10:45. We had checked all of our luggage. My husband's a platinum member through American Airlines, so we can check, I think, 2 bags for free. So we ended up just checking all of our luggage. That made it easier for the kids. They didn't have to lug their carry-ons and things like that. Got to the airport, landed around 10:45, got all of our luggage, and we loaded mirrors around 11:45. I will say we didn't have any issues with mirrors. We did wait about 20 minutes for a bus, but I just missed the Magical Express. I missed the Disney-fied version of it, where you get to watch like a Disney movie on the way there.
I know, and because they have started kind of bringing some old things back, I'm like, can Magical Express?
I know.
Because they're doing that resort airline check-in sort of thing, which was sort of part of Magical Express.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, okay, now bring back the bus.
Yeah. Maybe, hopefully.
There's a whole generation of parks people that don't have
I have no idea. Yeah. I will say, I think we could have, in hindsight, if we didn't wanna wait, we probably could have done 2 Ubers for around the same price as we paid, but it's okay. We got us there.
I know a lot of parents like the buses.
Yeah.
They don't have to mess with car seats and
Yeah,
all that.
yeah.
So there's that. But you were going to the Hilton Orlando Buena Vista Palace.
Yes, we checked into there, we dropped our luggage off, our rooms were not ready. I will say I was very impressed with this hotel. It's one of the off-site, like, Disney Good Neighbor hotels, and I would definitely stay here again if I had a big family. They had a lot of Christmas decorations, and they had free Christmas decorating, like cookie decorating kits for the kids. They had hot chocolate and cookies in the lobby, and it just felt, I mean, it wasn't a Disney resort, but it felt magical for the kids, so I would definitely stay here again.
Okay. And that one's within walking distance? I think?
It is, and you get to take that little sky bridge over. I mean, it is a bit of a trek. They have 2 buildings. They have an island building, and then they have the main building. We were in the main building, and that was a little bit further to Disney Springs, but it was walking distance.
And did you walk?
We did. We walked it. We wanted to eat at Polite Pig, so we did go to Polite Pig around 1:30 that day. And I will say I knew that Disney Springs on a Saturday was not gonna be a good idea during the holidays, and it was so crowded. It was wall-to-wall people, hard to get through. So we had originally planned, we thought we might go do some shopping, go to World of Disney, and then after we saw the crowds, we're like, "No, we're not gonna do that." So we did go eat, and then we went right back to the hotel.
Yeah.
Uh
And did Polite Pig's location allow you to kinda stay out of the
It did, because right where we walked in, it wasn't far at all to get to Polite Pig. Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Okay.
So
Alright. So anything else on this first arrival day?
we did end up going back. We walked back to Disney Springs and took a boat to Port Orleans French Quarter. We really wanted to just try the beignets that we'd heard about, so we did go to French Quarter. We had dinner at the Sassagoula, I think that their quick service that's there.
Float work.
Yes, and then we had the beignets, which were really good. We did have, my husband and I had the boozy ones. I did not like those. It was just like a big shot of, I don't know what they used, but it just was not good. But the other ones were really good. I would definitely try those again. We had an issue with quick service, and I don't know, this is the first time we've used so much quick service. We had the quick service dining plan, and it happened to us at Sassagoula and then again at Pop Century, where it took forever for them to check us out. And I'm a logistics person, I work in quality, and I was just noticing when they were checking us out, they have to scroll through each item. There's no, like, categorization of the items. They just have to scroll and scroll and scroll and find these items. So that was one issue, like, that I did notice, and I felt bad for the girl. I thought maybe she was new, but it was happening a lot throughout our trip. It just took forever.
That's nuts. So when I was in college, which has been a long time ago, I worked in the college cafeteria, and we just had to memorize codes for everything.
Mhm.
Like, oh, that's a 134. That's a, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just assumed that's how they were doing it, but I guess not.
And they could noticed she was searching, like, she could search for items, but even then, she would pull up chicken strips, and there would be, like, 10 different things that she could choose from, and it was I was like, my quality brain my husband works in logistics too, it was kinda driving us crazy, like, "Can't they make it easier for them?"
So
Yeah.
yeah.
So
I now that you've told me this, I'm gonna obsess over it.
yes. Other than that, like, the food was great, like, we didn't have any issue, just I felt bad for the poor cashiers that were just having to scroll and scroll and scroll every time, but that was good.
Did you take the boat back to Disney Springs?
Well, we took the boat there, and then they kept saying that there was an issue with the dock. There's an issue with the dock while we were on our boat ride there. They let us off. We went back to go get on the boat, and the dock was closed. So we don't know what happened, but they said that it was a safety issue. So they sent us to the bus stop and then took us by bus to Disney Springs. So don't know what
And
that
does that
was.
that bus drops you off and then
Yeah, it dropped us off, like, right near, like, where Ron John is. I don't know if you know where that serves. It was pretty near Polite Pig, actually. Like, we walked by Polite Pig
yeah.
to get back to our hotel.
Yeah, I was gonna say it might have been more convenient.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad walk, it was about the same as if they had dropped us off at the boat, so, yeah.
Exactly, because I'm obsessed with logistics. I'm always thinking about where in Disney Springs are you? Because the boats are on one end, the buses are on the same.
Yes.
So, and there's the pros and cons, so
Yes.
all the different options.
Yes.
Okay, are you ready to move on to Sunday, December 14th?
Oh, I did mention that we did actually do some pool time on this day between Polite Pig and Sassagoula, and it wasn't bad for the kids. It was about in the low 70s. My husband and I just stayed off, but they have a really cool lazy river at that hotel too. So that's just a really good hotel for families that don't necessarily want to stay on site. They might want to save some money. So
Okay, and was the pool heated?
it was. I dipped my toe in it. It felt like maybe it was in the 80s or something. It wasn't too bad. I probably would have gotten in, but I am a sissy, so I just watched the kids.
Same,
Yeah.
but in the 80s isn't too
Yeah.
bad, so that's
Yeah.
okay. I'm glad that you have a mention of an offsite hotel. We
Mhm.
don't talk about them very often, but if you have Hilton points or need more space or something,
Yeah, we've definitely talked
good spot.
about, like, that might be where we stay next if we don't wanna stay on site to save some money, so, yeah.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah,
So you did move away from there on Sunday, December
we
14th
did.
to Pop Century.
Yes, so we woke up around it was early, woke up at around 5, and the night before, my husband and I had talked about we didn't know what we wanted to do, but we decided we're not gonna do a water park day this day. We decided we actually wanted to go ahead and use one of our park days this day, and we were wanting to go to Hollywood Studios and do all of the Star Wars things because my husband and my 2 boys and my youngest are obsessed with Star Wars, so we thought that would be our plan. So
Okay, but you did not have any lighting lanes booked
no.
because this was a last minute decision.
Yeah, originally we had planned to maybe do a water park day or just have a free day and then have our Friday be our 5th, like, park day with no lightning lanes, but we just decided to change that around. So, decided to go to Hollywood Studios this day. We talked about the day before. We didn't know how we were gonna get there. We thought originally we were gonna do 2 Ubers, thought about maybe taking the bus from Disney Springs, but then my husband, when we were talking, he was like, "Well, what about doesn't Mears don't they do a taxi service?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's a good point." So I looked it up, and it's actually a really good deal. It was a Sprinter van that fit all of us and our luggage for $29 to go from the Hilton to Pop Century. So that's what we ended up doing, and you could book the time that you want them to pick you up, so that was nice.
Okay, another thing we don't talk enough about,
Yeah.
mirrors,
Yes.
because that option you couldn't get with like Uber or Lyft. Or anything.
No, I tried to look at Lyft, and even was like, "Well, maybe I can book a minivan," but they wouldn't offer it from the Hilton offsite. So, they did
I mean, there's XL.
there
I'm trying to
is.
think. XLs are like could be like suburban the minivan.
Yes, but I was worried because we had, I think, 8 pieces of no, we had at least 8 pieces of luggage, so I was worried that it was not gonna fit everything, but this was nice and
Yeah,
big.
even when there's only 2 or 3 of us with luggage, I'll do an XL
Mhm.
because it's like we need humans and
Right.
luggage. In your case, you have a choice.
Yes.
You can't
Yeah.
fit everything. So a Sprinter van is much bigger than what you can probably book. So that's a good thing to keep in mind.
Yeah, and I felt like it was similar in price to Uber and much bigger, so something to keep in mind for those bigger families, for sure.
Exactly.
So we woke up at 5.
Okay. So you all right, and you were the point of the van was to get you from to Pop Century.
Yes, correct. So I scheduled the pickup for about 6:40, and they were right on time. We dropped our luggage off at Bell Services, had some snacks at the little food court there, and then we got on the Skyliner at 7:25, and we got in line. There was a long line, but they had just opened, so they were moving quickly. So we did get to Hollywood Studios around 7:50.
So you were determined to rope drop.
Even though, like, we didn't have lightning lanes booked and we were gonna try to take this as an easy day, I can't, like, not rope drop. It's so hard. It's like, 'cause I know that I can be ahead of the pack and we could maybe do something that we wouldn't have planned on doing if we had just strolled in around 10 o'clock. So we did end up rope dropping.
I get
Yeah.
it.
So we rope dropped, we went straight to Rise. We were like, well, we're not gonna have to pay for it. So we rope dropped it. We got on Rise in line at 8:15, and we were in line right before they let you in the actual pod to get in the car, and the ride went down. So they got us out of line, and they gave us 2 free fast passes, anytime fast passes to use throughout the day. So I was like, well, I mean, at least we can come back to it and we get another ride that we could ride throughout the day. So it wasn't too bad. But my kids were kind of bummed.
I got in.
I knew that it was an iffy, like, whether or not it was going to or not, but my kids really wanted to ride it, and we didn't wanna pay for it, so we took the chance, and we got 2 free fast passes off of it, so I would do it again.
I'm glad
Yeah.
because I'm not sure they always do that, but I'm glad that they did
Yeah.
because then it's not a total waste.
Right. Yeah, because we had been in line around 30 minutes by that point, so yeah.
Then where did you go?
We got off at about 8:45, and they gave us those fast passes. We mobile ordered breakfast at Woody's Lunchbox around 9, and we just went over to Toy Story Land. We walked onto Alien Swirling Saucers, and I forgot how fun that ride is. I know it's, like, similar to Teacups, and that's what I remembered it being, but it was really fun, and my kids liked it, the way it whips you
Did you
around.
have Christmas music?
We did not. Well, the first time we rode it was on this day, it did not play Christmas music, but there was one time we rode it. I can't remember what song it was, but it was definitely Christmas music. Yeah. Yeah. That was cute. My husband did not ride that ride, but me and my kids did. He gets really bad motion sickness. I actually bought him a special band for this trip that's, like, electronic that you charge and you put it on with ultrasound gel, but he was still scared to risk that ride. So, it was me and my kids.
Okay.
Yeah. So we had mobile ordered Woody's. We got on Alien Swirling Saucers, then went over to Woody's to pick our food up, ate breakfast, and then we headed over to Tower of Terror and used one of our fast passes for it. Wasn't sure how this was going to go because my kids had not been on anything like since 2019, and I knew that my youngest, it could be hit or miss whether he would like it or not, but he loved it. And spoiler alert, he is a thrill junkie. So that was our first big ride.
That is a heck of a
I know, and my husband, I was like, "Should we tell him what to expect?" He's like, "No, let's just do it and see how it goes," and he loved it. All of our kids did, so, yeah.
To be fair, he can kind of maybe
Yeah, at least it's a little bit open, and you could see that it goes up and down, yeah.
you can hear, you can kinda see, so maybe he had some idea, but I'm glad he liked it.
I was a little bit worried because I didn't mention this, but on the Skyliner, he kinda got scared when we first got on the Skyliner. And we realized it was when it goes through those, the big tower, like, when it goes through the big metal things, it makes noise, and he did not like that. So he ended up my middle one told him just to plug his ears and kinda meditate, and he was fine after that. But I was not sure how rides were gonna go, and he was fine. Something about the Skyliner, though. You never know. But we did Tower of Terror. We were off of that by about 10:25, and then we went back over to the Star Wars area. We met Darth Vader. We got in line for him, met him. That was fun. And then we got back into Rise around 11:30 and it had come back up, and we used our fast pass, our second one for that. And that one was amazing. My kids love that one. I'd been on it before, but my kids had not. And they're
Wait, what did you use your first one?
Tower of Terror.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Right. And then your second one was
Yes.
okay. Now, kids did or didn't like it?
They loved it. Yes. They wanted to go on it more, and we did eventually go on it again, but yes, they loved it. My 2 boys are big Star Wars nerds, so is my husband, so I knew that they were gonna like it. Yeah.
Yes. Now that it's
Yes. When we got off of that, we did go to Docking Bay 7. We walked in. I didn't do a mobile order because it wasn't busy. We just walked right up and ordered and had lunch there. That was pretty good. I'd had it before. I had a poke bowl this time, and that was really good. So definitely a good option for lunch. After that, we did blue and green milk. We had to try that for the kids, and they loved it. Two of my kids liked the green the best, and two of them liked the blue the best, and so it's kind of split on which one was the favorite. But they were really good.
Mhm.
We went to Indiana Jones at around 1:15, saw that show, and then once we got off of that, we tried the Indiana Jones cold brew. I don't know if you've had that or if you we tried it. It had, like, a little chocolate hat. I'd seen it on social media. I'm gonna say I'm probably in the minority here, but I don't like Joffrey's coffee.
Oh, you're in good company.
Okay. I don't either, and I think that's why I didn't like it because the coffee, it just did not I don't know, it tastes really, like, weak to me, I guess. I don't know, something about it. So, it was okay, but I wouldn't have it again.
I feel like people are pranking me when they talk about
How they love it and they order it for home, and I guess it gets you, like, a taste of Walt Disney World, but I don't know, I can't do it.
I don't I to each their own.
Yeah.
We
Yeah. So, tried that, won't do that again. Oh, on this day, we were supposed to do Oga's on Friday. We changed it to this day. So and then we canceled our beaches and cream for this day. So, we did have an Oga's reservation that we had moved to 2:30 on this day, and we checked into that. I was a little annoyed because at this point, the kids were tired. I had heard that if you book a reservation, you're more likely to get a booth or get a seating, and I should have requested it when we checked in, but I didn't, and when they took us in, they took us to a standing table, but there were 2 booths open, and so I asked the waitress, I was like, "Is there any way to, like, sit?" And they were like, "Well, you'll have to go back out and wait." And they never set anyone in those booths the whole time we were there, and it was the same waitress. So, we were just a little annoyed. We just ended up having 1 drink there and then left. So, it was frustrating because my little one, he couldn't even see on the top of the table, so he was, like, doing like this the whole time. So that was frustrating, but I guess I should have requested it beforehand. So, live and learn.
Also, why were they
Right, the whole time. I'm like I kept expecting them to seat someone there, and then it was frustrating me because I'd look over and they were just empty.
weird?
Yeah. So, we did leave there. We left the park after that, we left the park, and that was around 3:00. We went back to our resort. At this time, we had to pick up our cups for our dining plan, and then I'd done an Amazon Fresh order, so I went to pick that up. Went back to the room, realized when I got back to the room that half of our order was missing. So I called Bell Services and they were like, "Well, that's all that they delivered." So then I had to call Amazon and they were able to rebook another delivery for that next morning. So I had to keep that in mind to go back that next morning and get that. I we also noticed at this point on our dining plan that because we had 2 rooms, they had our dining plan split up between the 2 rooms. So it showed on my Magic Band that I had a certain amount of credits. So I had me and the 2 little ones on my side, and then on my husband's, he had the 2 older boys and him. And so I asked the front desk, "Can we merge those somehow so we don't have to keep in track of, like, which Magic Band to use?" And they said they can't do that. So I was like, "Oh, that's frustrating."
That is so strange because I would have thought they were all piled
Right,
into one.
right. You would think.
But I guess there's too many of you.
Yeah.
But that's frustrating.
Yeah, I just thought maybe if there was 1 reservation, they could just merge them together, but they said they can't do that, so
That feels like something hard to do. Because in your case, the kids outnumber the adults. This is gonna be a
Yes, and there were some times, like, later in the trip where I was out with the kids by myself, and I didn't have all the credits on my band, so we had to, like, figure that out with logistics and things like that, so a little frustrating. I figured Disney would be able to figure out how to do that, but maybe that's something to come later on, so but we made it work.
hopefully they'll fix it.
We did have dinner at Pop Century this day around 5:40, and again, I talked about the delay in checking out. The poor checker was scrolling through trying to find the meals, but food was fine. We did do pool time on this day, so our 2 youngest went to the pool with us. They got in the pool, we did not, but it was fine. They had fun. We did that until about 7:30, and then we went back to our room, and we were in bed watching football, Sunday Night Football, and steps this day were 19,819. So not too big of a day, but a big day.
Well, I mean, I think it's
Yeah.
Especially imagine the little kids with the little legs.
Yes.
They're walking half marathons every day. Did you cancel your beaches and creeks?
We did end up canceling that day. I canceled for Sunday and I booked it for Friday. And
Okay, but you moving things around is the ability to move things around is interesting to me. Like, you were able to do it.
I did use for Beaches and Cream, I used Mouse Watcher to get it rebooked, but to get Oga's moved around was no issue. There was no issue with availability there.
I guess those are empty.
Yeah. And it was weird because there was a line outside, so people were waiting. They just weren't seating people. It was strange. But
Very cute.
yes.
Okay. All right. So that was a spontaneous day. That seems like it went
It
well.
did.
The next day was Monday, December 15th, and your plan was to go to Epcot.
Yes, and that did happen that day. So, when we talked on our pre-trip, I didn't get to tell you what our lightning lanes were because I didn't know it was a little bit before my 7 days. So, I had pre-booked for this day, Living with the Land at 9:50, Soarin' at 10:55, and Guardians 11:55, and then Test Track I was only able to get 1:35 p.m. So that kind of changed our touring plan a little, but we can get into that. But we woke up at 5:30 this day, had snacks in our room around 6:53, and then got in line for the Skyliner around 7. Again, they didn't open until about 7:25. But even with that, we were in line at the International Gateway at about 7:50. And they led us through the gates at 7:55 and got in line for Remy's. We went straight to Remy's. And we were on that ride at 8:36, but they didn't start letting people actually on the ride until 8:30. So we were at the front of the pack for that.
Just what you wanted.
Yes, it worked out great. Then we went straight to Frozen out after that, and we were off that ride about 9, so no big wait there. And then we went ahead and did Three Caballeros because we were over there and decided we had some time before our fast passes, so we did that. And I'm sorry I keep calling them fast passes, lightning lanes, you know what I mean. After Three Caballeros, we went to meet Mickey and friends over in that can't remember what that pavilion's called. Communicore Hall. Yes, that's where. So we saw Mickey and friends. It was Mickey, Minnie, and Goofy meeting that morning. And that was one of the longest waits we had. We waited for 20 minutes. There was a posted 10-minute wait. So I think they had a break in between. And that was early in the morning.
And that was one of your long?
Yes. Yeah. So we got in line with Living with the Land at 10 and we were off by 10:20. And then we had some time before our soaring, so we did have some snacks at Sunshine Seasons, and that was good. And then we scanned in to Soarin' at 10:40. We were off at 11:03. Originally, Soarin' was a later wait, but Wait Magic. I used Wait Magic this trip, and I also used Standby Skipper. And Wait Magic was able to get us an earlier time, so we went ahead and got on a little bit earlier.
You're using all the tools.
Yes, and I will say I think I liked Wait Magic more. I mean, I know it's not as user-friendly, but I liked the ability to modify. So that was a big plus for me. So if I had to use just one or the other, I'd probably do Wait Magic.
Yeah, it is handy
Mhm.
to be able to modify it.
Yeah.
And you can set it to just, like, keep modifying
Right.
until you stop it, which means it just keeps bumping earlier
Yes.
and earlier and earlier.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that was nice. We went to Finding Nemo at 11:06. That was a walk-on, but the ride stopped several times throughout this, and I don't know if that always happens, but it seemed to stop a lot during this ride, so we didn't get off until, like, 11:25 on that one.
Weird.
Yes. We did Turtle Talk. I had booked that one after scanning into Living with the Land, and we got out of there at around 11:42, but that was so cute. I had not been able the last trip that we went on as a family, my youngest was a baby and he was asleep, so I didn't even take him in there. My husband took the kids, and so that was the first time that I'd seen it, and I didn't realize how cute that was. My daughter got to ask him a question. She asked if he likes sushi or if he ever eats sushi, and he said that he said he's a vegetarian and he only eats, I can't remember what he said, but he only eats grass or something. So, it was cute.
Good question.
Yes. We went to Moana Way of Water. That was really cute. That's the first time we'd seen that one. Got there around noon. And then Test Track had been modified by Wait Magic to about noon. So we went over there after Moana Way of Water, and we scanned in at 12:13. 7-year-old loved it. That's one of his favorite rides now. And then I think my husband and I had been on the old one, and I think we like this version more. I don't know. Have you been on the new one yet? Yeah. I think I like it more. I never really got the do the car thing because it didn't really make sense. I don't know. I like this version more.
Prettier.
Yes, for sure. After that, we scanned into Guardians. We got Iran, which was okay. Not my favorite song, but my husband did not ride this ride, even though I got that band specifically so that hopefully he could ride it, because the first time he rode it, he was down for the count all day after that. So he had a little bit of PTSD, and he felt like the band was working, but he was scared, so he didn't ride it.
I mean, if it takes you down for the day, I can see why
Yeah.
he would be nervous.
Yes, I know. So he did ride rides later on in the trip, and it helped for sure. So it was definitely worth the purchase, but I wish he would have tried to ride this one to see how it worked. So
And is this called Relief Band or something else?
it was like a off-brand version of the Relief Band. I got it on Amazon. I think it's EM something. I don't know. I used my FSA card to purchase it, and I would definitely suggest people with nausea purchase it, because he said he definitely felt the difference. There were rides that he rode that he usually would get nauseous, and he did not. So yeah.
Good to know. I know the Relief Band is not cheap.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that there's these off-brand options.
Yes. After that, we went and got snacks at Connections and then went to Club Cool. So all the kids could try Beverly. My oldest two had tried it, but my youngest two had not. And that was funny. I was like, you have to try this. It's so good. They're like, I don't know what you're talking about. It's disgusting. At this point, my 14-year-old, he wanted to go back to Guardians and ride at Standby. And I tried to tell him that it's probably going to be a long wait, but he was like, he was determined. He loved that ride. So he wanted to go back to it. He ended up not getting on Guardians because it was such a long wait, but he did do the single rider on Test Track. So he did that one again.
Could he have used your husband's Guardians single pass lighting?
I thought about that, and I don't know why I didn't think about it at the time when he was leaving to go do it. But yeah, I don't think we ended up ever using his pass, which we could have. But yeah, that's definitely would have been an option. So
Yeah. I just wasn't sure if you ended up not buying for him or what.
I bought for him. We just did never end up using it. Let's see. After that, we went to Spaceship Earth. I had booked that one after Soarin'. I think I had Standby Skipper book that one, and we scanned into that at $218. After Spaceship Earth, we could tell our kids were getting cranky, so we decided to actually go and have a meal. So we went back to Connections and got an actual meal and sat down and ate, and they were much better after that. My plan actually for this day, though, was to do, they had the Festival of the Holidays going on. I really wanted to use a lot of our snack credits for the booths and to go through the World Showcase, but we realized after Spaceship Earth that our kids probably wouldn't last for the whole showcase, so we did feed them, and then we did start and get through a little bit around halfway around the showcase. So we got into Norway. We tried Viking coffee and school bread. That was really good. Those were both really good. Then we went to Germany and had grapefruit beer, and they have this really cute, I wish I had it with me, but it's a souvenir beer stein, and you could get that with the grapefruit beer, and that was $21, and I was like, well, that was worth it because we get to come home with a souvenir. But I always have to have grapefruit beer, and it's not the same. You can get it here locally in the grocery store, but it's not the same.
Because on tap, we see
It does. And I searched, I was like, is there any place near me that serves it on tap? And no, just get it at the grocery store. But yes, that was always a good stop for us. The kids got caramel apples in Germany at the Caramel Kusch. Is that how you say that? Yeah. Yeah. So those were really good. But
and these are all snack credits.
All snack credits. Well, the beer we had to pay for out of pocket, but yeah, the caramel apples were snack credits. The school bread was snack credits. After that, the kids were kind of done. My husband had seen a pin that he wanted to go back and get that was near Spaceship Earth, so he went back and did that. And I took the kids on the Skyliner. We got on the Skyliner around 6 and got back to. Ended up going to Art of Animation for dinner because we heard that their food court was a little bit better than Pop Century's. We just wanted to see what was over there. And it was okay. I mean, it had just had some different types of food that Pop Century didn't have, but I don't know. I wouldn't make a special trip over there. But since it was close to us, we went ahead and went to Art of Animation.
Yeah, but in your situation, it's nice to have 2 food court.
Yeah. So that was good. We went back to the room and we were in bed. Me and the kids were in bed by 8:30, and I think my husband got back maybe a little bit after that. It wasn't too late. But this day, my steps are 22,745 and my husband's were 28,360. So lots of steps.
Yeah. He did a lot of running around after you left.
Yes, he went up to the front, and then I think he went back to the through the World Showcase and had a beer or two, like, in Japan, and I don't know, some other place. He had dinner back there, but yeah. Epcot is so big, though. I feel like you can't get out of it with less than 20,000 steps if you're doing the whole park.
I think it counts as 2.
Yes.
There's just a lot going
Yeah.
on. And the 2 main attractions are at opposite ends.
Yes.
It's a logistical nightmare.
Yes.
since we're talking about
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about the hotel setup, like the 2 rooms? Did that work out well for your family?
It did, because my 2 oldest, I knew that they were not gonna want to share beds, so we decided we needed to get 2 rooms. So they did have us connecting. So we kinda just left one of the doors unlocked so we could always get into the other room, but it was the 1 bed and then the pull down Murphy bed in each room. That worked well. The only thing is when the Murphy bed's pulled down, you don't have a lot of room between that dresser and the bed. I knocked my leg, like, several times. I still have a huge bruise on my legs. So I'm like, I in hindsight, we should have just put the bed up when we weren't sleeping in it. But other than that, I mean, it worked for us. The only issue was there was no place to sit when we were in the room. We had both beds down. So there's no extra little seating area. So if you're looking for something like that as a family, if you want a separate seating area, you'd have to go somewhere bigger for that. But
Yeah. I hear
yeah.
you have to make some choices about how you want to use your space.
Yes, yeah.
Because those rooms are small.
I did like the fact, though, that there was space under the beds to put the suitcases. So I don't remember that always being the case. It wasn't, was it?
No, they've done a great job with the
Yeah,
storage.
yeah. So that was nice. So all of our suitcases stayed out of the way the whole week, so that was good. But
Yeah.
yeah.
There's not much room to put it in.
No, not at all. No.
It's a pretty small square footage. Okay, let's talk about Tuesday, December 16th, which was Magic Kingdom
Yes, this was
on a party.
this was such a good day, and I will say that having park hoppers during the months with all the parties is so worth it. I don't know if I would do it another way without it, because you're just able to really navigate to the parks that don't have crowds and then navigate to a different park when the party starts. So definitely worth it, I think.
I think so. I would say it's a requirement because they pack so many parties in.
Yes, this week
that
it was like a party almost every day. I think Monday was the only day that didn't have a party at any park.
Yeah. And you're making a choice.
Mhm.
If you don't have hoppers, you're making a choice about going to the Magic Kingdom when it's busier or when it's less busy, and fireworks, not fireworks.
Yes.
Park hoppers are super handy. But I know it adds up. Like, you have 6 people.
It was pricey,
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
But we got the dining free with it, so I don't know if we would have done park hoppers, like, not knowing what to expect. I don't know if I would have booked them initially if I hadn't got the dining free, but now knowing how easy it is to navigate with them, I don't know if I could do it without.
Yeah. It's just, you really have to think
Yes.
about multiplying it by 6.
Yes. Yep. Alright, yes, so Tuesday, December 16th, this was our Magic Kingdom and Hollywood Studios day. So we woke up at 5:30 this day. I noticed this day I forgot to mention Monday was super cold, like, high of low 60s this day, so we were cold this day. We had to purchase sweatshirts. My husband even purchased a sweatshirt because he was cold, and he never gets cold, so that was just something to note.
And I'm just gonna interrupt before anyone listening is like, 60 degrees isn't cold. It hits
It
different.
does. It does.
It does. And I say this as somebody who is never cold.
Uh-huh.
I am always hot. But that cold with that humidity, it cuts right through you.
Yeah, I noticed I only mentioned that because I'd gone to the lobby on this morning to get coffee, and when I was walking back to the room, there was steam on the top of the pool. So, like, you could see, like, how cold it was because it was just steaming from the heated pool. So, it was pretty cold this day, not as cold, but it was still, I think, low 70s for the high that day. So, another cool
Which means
morning.
your mornings were quite chilly with
Yes. We didn't wait in line for a Skyliner this day, but on that Monday, that's why we had to purchase sweatshirts in the gift shop. We were like, I can't stand in line for 30 minutes waiting on the Skyliner with this cold. So, yeah. But anyway, we ended up getting in line for the bus, and right as we got in line for the bus for Magic Kingdom, they had driven off. Like, we had just missed the bus. So we ended up booking a minivan. I'd wanted to do a minivan anyway on one of the days just to try it out. I knew, like, I'd heard good things about it, and it's definitely worth it. Like, you could do an Uber or a Lyft, but it's just not the same. They are just, like, talking to us about tips in the parks and things. Like, we had a driver, her name was Christina, she was great, but she told us about, I didn't know this, in the baby care center, there's a filtered water system in there that you can just go in and fill up your water anytime versus having to get, like, through quick service doing the water through there. So that was a good tip that we used.
That is a good tip.
Mhm.
But also, you picked Minivan on a Magic Kingdom Day,
Mhm.
which is so convenient to
Yes.
drive you right up to the front. Did your minivan arrive before the next Magic Kingdom bus?
Yes, it did. Yeah. Yeah, 'cause we saw the bus drive off, and so I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna book a minivan," and they were there within 2 minutes of me booking.
Okay. Then
Yes, yes. So we got to Magic Kingdom, they dropped us off about 7:30. We had bought some water bottles through Amazon Fresh that were aluminum, and I was like, "Well, that's good," because I thought that they would be easy to be reused in the parks. Didn't realize they were gonna cause issues with security. So my husband got stopped at security, and he had 5 bottles in his backpack, and they were like, "That's a lot of bottles." He was like, "Yeah, I have a big family." But they were like, "Yeah, we've been seeing these bottles more and more, and they always cause issues with security." So we ended up not using them as much as we thought we would. So just something to note if you think that those reusable aluminum bottles, they are in theory a good idea, but you're gonna get stopped by security.
Mhm.
So he did get stopped by security this day, but we were still through the gates by 7:49, and they walked us to that rope by the castle near Seven Dwarfs, like near Fantasyland. We were there at 7:51, and then they walked us to the second rope at 7:58. I did not know on this day. So Gary Sinise, I don't know if you've heard of his foundation that he has. So this was the week that he had the foundation, the families there for his visit, and they were early in the parks that day. So they were in Magic Kingdom. I think normally they would have let us get in line for Seven Doors before actually opening, but this day they kept us behind the rope until right at 8:30. And even then they walked us as a group. They had someone in front and they said, "If you run ahead of us, we're gonna take you out of the line." So they walked us as a group to Seven Doors Mine Train.
For people that don't know, Gary Sinise has an annual Snowball Express
Yeah.
where he brings hundreds of kids and spouses of fallen U.S. service people to Disney World and for 5 days, and he pays for everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you just happen to be there. But it affected your touring a little.
It did. I mean, it wasn't a big deal, but I think if we had been there on a week when they're not there, we would have gotten in line a little bit earlier, but it was fine. It was for a good cause, obviously.
Yes, but I love it. I kind of love that they get it early. I didn't know if they were going to get anything special.
Yes. I don't know how long they were in there before us. I don't know if it was like 30 minutes or an hour, but they looked like they'd been there a while. We kept seeing kids running back and forth, which was fun. But he actually was a candlelight processional person that week, I think on that Thursday, Friday. So I guess that's maybe why he picked this week to bring his foundation. So
He's
yes. Yeah.
doing it all.
So we did, even with having to wait that long, we were on the ride by 8:40. So rode that first, and then we got in line for Peter Pan, and that was at 8:48, and by then there was a 21-minute wait, and I guess it might have been that delay. So that was a bigger wait that we weren't anticipating.
Because only you at Seven Dwarfs Mine Train were affected.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
what you're
I
saying?
think so.
Okay, so other people would have.
Right, because I think some people did go straight to Peter Pan, but most people went to Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. So I think that just caused a little bit more of a delay than it normally would have if we had just got right into line. So not a big deal. We got to see we'd never seen the queue because I think we've always done it. We've usually used a lightning lane for that, and we didn't this time. So it was really a cute queue. I liked it.
So cute.
After this, we had booked, so our 3 fast passes for this day were Winnie the Pooh, Haunted Mansion, and Tiana's. And initially, I had told you, I think, that we were going to go and use Winnie the Pooh and just, as our burner. But Wait Magic actually was able to get us Haunted Mansion right at 9. So we ended up using that one as our burner. So we went there after Peter Pan, and we were off of there by 9:30. And then
And what? Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I booked Space Mountain after that after I scanned into Haunted Mansion.
Okay. So your goal for the burner was to be able to book more lightning lanes, clearly, but also were you going to be booking in another park?
We did end up booking in another park later, yeah. Yeah, we ended up booking, I think, we ended up going to Hollywood Studios, so. But I like using the rolling fast pass type system. I feel like it was a little bit easier in the old FastPass days, but it does seem to work well using it. Like as we would scan in, we'd book another one for later.
By rolling FastPass system, are you talking about Genie Plus?
It was before Genie Plus, 2019.
FastPass.
Yes. Genie Plus, I was not a fan of that. I felt like that was harder to do something like this, but this feels a little bit more like the old FastPass days. So, yeah.
It's kind of a hype.
Yeah. So I'd booked Space Mountain for later. We took a bathroom break and saw the Rapunzel bathrooms. Those were cute. Had some snacks at this time and then went and I decided, let's go ahead and do everything that's just not going to have a wait. So we just kind of went through Fantasyland and did all those rides. We got on the carousel. Then we did Enchanted Tales with Belle. My daughter, I got emotional because my daughter, Belle is her favorite. Her name is Isabel. Kind of named her after Belle is my favorite princess. Belle's her favorite princess, but she got to be the Beast. And I didn't remember last time like what really happens, but she got to dance with Belle at the end, like slow dance with her. And I got emotional, and I'm usually not one to get emotional and things like that, but it kind of made me cry a little bit.
That's so
Yeah, and my husband got to be one of the guards, and then my youngest, he was Maurice. So they all got to play a little part. It was really cute. But we did that, then we did Little Mermaid as a walk-on, and then we went to Gaston's and got a cinnamon roll because I'd heard that those were good. We've never had one of those, and we got the creme brulee croissant, which was also really good, and Le Fou's Brew, which I did not think was good. I've heard people love it, but it just tasted like a weird apple juice to me. So, yeah. Then we went to Winnie the Pooh at this time. My youngest, I told you he was like a adrenaline junkie, and he kind of this day started being like, he called them tour rides. Like, are they rides where you just sit and watch things? And so when I tell him that yes, it's a tour ride, he's like, I don't want to go on that. I want to go on a roller coaster. So he like did not want to go on anything that wasn't a roller coaster after getting his experience of Guardians and Test Track and all these other things. So I was originally going to just cancel Winnie the Pooh, but my oldest wanted to go on because he remembered it from his first trip and he felt nostalgic. So I'm like, okay, we'll go on it for you. So we went on to Winnie the Pooh. We had scanned in at 10:55, and then can't remember what we booked after that. I feel like I had Standby Skipper booked something, but I can't remember what that was. After Winnie the Pooh, we went on Teacups. That was a walk-on. And then we went over to Barnstormer. That was a walk-on. Dumbo was a walk-on. Tomorrowland Speedway. After that, that was around 11:50. That was a walk-on. And then we went to Space Mountain and scanned in at around 12:10. Again, my husband did not ride this ride. I didn't wanna ride this ride. I know, like, how rough it is. I'm not a huge fan of it. My kids wanted to ride it, and so I was like, "Okay, I'll ride with y'all." So, it was just the 5 of us. My husband stayed off. We took a snack break after that at the lunching pad and had a cream cheese pretzel. That was amazing. I've never had that before, but I would definitely try that again instead of, like, just a normal pretzel. It's really good.
Mhm. It's a good use of the snack credit.
Yes. So we had more snack credits than we thought we might after I had originally planned to have all our snack credits basically be used towards the festival, but since that didn't happen, we had more snack credits than we normally would.
You've gone on a lot of rides at this point.
I think I'd kind of by noon, I think we did, I put it in the notes somewhere. I think we did like 12 attractions by noon. It was a lot. So,
That's a ton.
yeah.
Because you're going through the list quickly. I'm like, it's not even lunchtime.
Yeah. And I think it's probably because it was a party day and the weights were just so low. It just felt very empty, and it was nice.
Yeah, but it's everything because you were
Mhm.
early. You have lighting games. It's a party day. It's all the things combined are really working.
Yes. Yeah, the way I like to plan, like, the fast passes for rides that I know they're gonna have waits later on, and then just go on the rides that I know that are not gonna have waits, so that's kinda how we attacked our planning, and it seemed to work really well. So after this, we did go over to Jungle Cruise. I'd booked that, so I can't remember when I booked that, but we scanned into that at 1:10. It was so cute because I am one of those people that if people aren't laughing, I feel bad, so I have to overcompensate. But there was a lady in the back of the boat, and it was her first time on, and she was just cracking up. So she was cracking me up because she was laughing at all the jokes. So that was really fun because you never know what you're gonna get on that ride. If you're gonna get people that just are stuffy, and it just made it really fun because she was like an older lady, and this was her first time on, and she just found it hilarious.
Well, first timers especially aren't really sure what to
Yeah.
think. So I'm glad you have somebody to laugh
It was a
with.
good experience. Yeah.
Because I'm with you. I am constantly staring at the skipper like, "Are you okay?
Mhm.
Is it okay that people aren't
Mhm.
laughing?" Because I feel bad.
Yeah, it was really cute. So we went on that, and then we scanned into Tiana's around 1:47. This was another favorite of my 7-year-old. So he decided at the end of this trip, it's Guardians, Tron, Test Track, then Tiana's. Those are his 4 favorite that he would go on over and over again.
He likes the thrill.
Yes. Yeah. It was really cute. I'd been on it since it changed. My husband surprised me with a trip to Disneyland in September for my birthday, and so we went on it there, and I was worried. I didn't know if it was gonna be the same here as far as, like, the wet goes. I'd heard it wasn't as bad, but I was still concerned. But we didn't get as wet as in Disneyland. Have you been on it in Disneyland? I'm sure you have.
I think I've been out.
We were in the front row, like, the front or I don't know, it was me in the front and then my husband right behind me, and we were soaked. Like, I did not realize how wet you get on that ride at
But
Disneyland.
were you in the front at Disney World?
I was in the second row, my 2 kids were in the front, but they still didn't get wet. Not as wet as Disneyland.
Yeah. Some people do get it
Yeah.
in the front at Disney World.
I was a little worried too because it's kinda cold again this day, and so I didn't wanna be wet and miserable, but it wasn't bad. So, then after that, we decided to go and have some Dole Whips. My kids had the I Lava You float, that was really good, I tried that. I had the orange cream, that was good, and my husband had a normal Dole Whip. So we got all of that in Adventureland. We had some time, so I had booked, Beacon Barrel for this day, and so we knew we had some time. Our booking wasn't until 3:50, so we had some time between Tiana's and that to just kill some time. So we did the Swiss Family Treehouse. My kids went on that while we ate our Dole Whips. Then my youngest and my 14-year-old did the flying carpets. That was a walk-on, and then we had our Pirates. We had a fast pass for that at 3:10, so we scanned in. I thought that would be good to do Pirates and then go to Beacon Barrel. So,
Great
yeah.
combo. Just like going to Skipper Canteen and
Yeah, yeah. So that was fun. We did Pirates at 3:10. We still had some time after getting off of that. We went over and did the Pirates scavenger hunt, the little adventure. That was really fun. We probably could have spent some more time on that if we had more time, but it was really fun just to kill some time. It didn't take a lot of time to do. We checked into Beacon Barrel at 3:50. I made sure and said, "Please seat us this time." And they were like, "Well, since you have kids under 9, we're definitely gonna seat you." And also, I didn't realize they had more seating there than Oga's, so I really didn't wanna stand another 45 minutes, but they were like, "No, if you have kids under 9, we typically try to seat you automatically." So that was nice. So we got in to the restaurant at 4:06. My husband started to get a little stressed out because we were sitting there. I think we were sitting there for 8 minutes before someone came up to our table, and they'd already started our time because they write it down when they take you in the restaurant. So he was stressed out, like, that we weren't gonna have time to have, 2 drinks and then just to, like, kinda see the atmosphere and things, but it ended up being fine. We ended up basically, we ordered food and our first round of drinks, and then when they brought our first round of drinks, we went ahead and ordered our second round just because we knew it might not be, that many times that they come back to the table, so that worked out well.
And which room were you seated?
They seated us in the main room with the parrot, so my husband and I sat with our backs to it, and then the kids were on the other side so that they could watch the parrot, and he comes out and does his little sayings and stuff. That was really cute. Yeah.
Yeah. I would say the people that are seated in there like it the
Yeah. I feel like it was a good experience. It's definitely a better experience than what we had at Oga's, and if I had to pick between the 2, I would pick Bacon Barrel again. So, I know some people have not had a great experience, but yeah, I think like you said, maybe they got seated in one of the other rooms, and you don't really have that same interactive experience. So,
No, you're kinda removed.
yeah,
You can hear it.
yeah,
Can't see it.
yeah. So, I liked it. I think I would go again. It wasn't cheap. I mean, I think our check ended up being $225 for the 6 of us, and that was with me and my husband having 2 drinks apiece, our kids having drinks, and then we got 1 each of the little food appetizers. But it was really good food, though, for what you get.
Yeah. Did you get the octopus?
We did. But I was kinda sad because it didn't come with, like, the little tentacle, like, you see it that it's hanging off. It's, like, chopped up in there. So I'm like, "Oh," at first I was like, I think they forgot the octopus," but it was, like, in the food.
Their promo images and their real life
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. But it was actually really good. I was surprised. So we did that, and then after we did that we still had some of the pirate scavenger hunt to do, so I took my daughter off and did hers, and my husband took my youngest, and, he obviously didn't have the wherewithal to take his camera out and take pictures, but Jack Sparrow came up and helped my youngest complete the scavenger hunt. He was asking him, like, where to find this last thing, and so he took him along and completed the scavenger hunt with him. I'm like, "What a great memory. I wish I would have had it caught on camera."
I know, that's so
Yeah.
cool. That's something you can't
Yeah. Yeah, so that was really cute. After that, we decided we were gonna head to Hollywood Studios, so we started walking out of Magic Kingdom at 5. We got to catch when they take the flag down and they did God Bless America, so we stopped for that. That was really nice. We ended up walking to the Contemporary and just boarded a bus to Hollywood Studios from there instead of having to, like, go back to Pop Century and then doing the Skyliner, so that seemed to work well. We got there right as the bus was about to leave, so we got right on the bus to Hollywood Studios, and we got off the bus at 5:35 at Hollywood Studios.
and you had been booking Lightning.
I think I only booked Millennium Falcon, Tower of Terror, and I think those were the only 2 I'd booked at this time because I knew we had another day at Hollywood Studios, and I wasn't sure how long they were gonna last, so I think those are the only 2 I'd booked. But we stopped at the Trolley Cart Cafe, got some coffee, tried the carrot cake whoopie pie. I'd never had that before, that was really good. My daughter and my 16-year-old actually went single rider at this point to Rock and Roller Coaster, and they did that, they had fun with that. I planned to get in line for Fantasmic. So while I was in line with my 14-year-old and 7-year-old, they were like, "Do we have to stand in line for this?" I'm like, "No, we don't have to stand in line for this." I was like, "If this is not something y'all want to do, I'm not gonna make you wait for this." I wanted to see Fantasmic, but I had seen it in September in Disneyland, so I was like, "If they don't wanna do this, I'm not gonna make them do it."
And it's
I've heard that too. So I wasn't too disappointed. I'm like, you know what? Let's just go. I know y'all want to ride rides. Y'all want to do other things. So let's just go do it. So we did not see Fantasmic, which was fine. We ended up having a great night without it. We got to see Snope and the Sunshine Season greeting. So that was really nice. I love all the decorations with Hollywood Studios, all the old timey decorations. It's so pretty.
yeah, and what I like is that most of the park is decorated in some kind of way, and you don't have to have extra stuff.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It's
It's
nice.
just Christmas.
It is. And they're playing all the Christmas music and things. So it's really nice. We had to wait on my daughter and my 16-year-old. They were still in line for Rock and Roller Coaster when we decided we're not gonna do Fantasmic, so we waited on them. Then we headed to Toy Story Land. We got on to Alien Swirling Saucers again, because that is a favorite for some reason for me and my kids. I don't know why. I know some people don't like it, but it is so fun. So if you haven't been on it and you think it's just another teacups ride, it's not. It's really fun. I think this was the night that we got the Christmas music too.
Okay, because they also
Mhm.
but not everything's gonna be Guardians.
Right, right.
Some things are Disney.
Yeah, yeah. So we got off of that around 7:20, then we headed to Galaxy's Edge. I had booked Millennium Falcon earlier, so we scanned into that. My 2 oldest were pilots, and I think all their video game playing had paid off because they were really good. Like, we didn't crash like we normally would with me and my husband being a pilot, so that was really fun. And my husband, he does have issues with motion sickness, so he cannot be the pilot, but if he's in the back and he's like the gunner or the engineer, he doesn't have an issue. So, something to keep in mind for people that might be afraid of motion sickness for that ride.
And you guys fit perfectly
Yes.
in a pod.
Yeah, we had my 2 oldest were at front, and then my youngest and my daughter were in the middle, and then my husband and I were in the back. So it fit perfectly. We ended up we walked by Rise at this point, and standby was 25 minutes, so we decided to go ahead and get in line again for that, because why not? So we got in. It was actually 36 minutes, but it was moving the whole time, so we didn't feel like that long. But that was fun. We got off of that, and then my husband and my 14-year-old decided they were tired and they wanted to go back to the resort, so they went back. And I took me and the other 3 kids. We went over to Tower of Terror and did that. We had a lightning lane for that, and we were off of there by 8:40. And at this point, I knew that the closing was at 9, and I didn't wanna get stuck in the closing crowds, so we decided we were gonna head back to the resort at that point, and we were back to our resort by 9:11. And I decided to do laundry because I'm the crazy person that doesn't like to come home with a lot of dirty laundry, so I did laundry, the other kids went to bed, and I got in bed around 11 that night.
But I bet you had a wild amount of steps because you did rope drop to park.
28,000 steps this day. Yes, and 21 attractions total. A lot of attractions. Mhm.
You're really getting your use out of those
Yes,
days,
yes.
and even a lot without them.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of walk-ons this day, and I think it was a little bit of the crowds and a little bit of the way that we planned it out, so it worked out well.
Mhm. Okay, so the next day was Wednesday, December 17th, and you had more time planned.
I know I'm normally like, most people would not spend this much time in Hollywood Studios, but because my kids love Star Wars so much, we decided we would spend more time there. So, yes, we rope dropped Hollywood Studios this day. We actually, we didn't rope drop. We slept in this day until 7:30 because we had Slinky Dog booked at 8:50, Toy Story at 9:50, and Tower of Terror at 10:50. Those were our pre-booked. So, we were like, "You know what? We've already seen most of Hollywood Studios, let's sleep in a little bit." So we did sleep in until 7:30. Left the room at 9:30, and we were on the Skyliner by 9:36. I got stopped by security this day, and the only thing I can think of is my son had his AirPods charging on my battery. That's the only thing I can think of is I was stopped, because I was never stopped throughout the whole time, and I had the same things in my bag except for his AirPods were new. So I'm thinking that's why I got stopped.
We were also told at security that when things are charging, sometimes they're more likely to set it off versus if they're just on their own.
Yeah. I bet that's what it
Whatever,
was.
however that
Yeah.
is.
So I got stopped by security this day. It wasn't a big deal. It didn't take much time. But even with that, we scanned into Slinky by 9:59 and we were on in 5 minutes. That was a fun ride. I forgot how much fun that one was too. And then at that point, after I scanned into Slinky, we booked Minnie and Mickey's. And then we went over to Toy Story Mania and got on there and scanned in at 10:10, and then booked Rock and Roller Coaster after we scanned into there. And then we boarded we boarded Toy Story Mini at 10:14, and then after that, we decided to break for a snack. We got the Jack Jack Num Num cookie, so my husband got in line to get that. While he did that, I went and took the kids. Joy was out in that little Pixar area. There was Joy, Frozone, Mrs. Incredible, and Sully Edna was there too, and then Sully from Monsters, Inc. was there. So we met all of those in a short amount of time. My husband actually met back up with us before we went to see Edna because he likes Edna Mode. So he went with us to see Edna Mode, but we got to see all of them.
Oh, so the ones you were naming were outside
Mhm.
and Edema was inside.
Yeah, she's in her normal area that she meets in, but everyone else was outside in that little open area, and there were no lines over there. So we got to meet them.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, it was nice. There was only but for the photographers, there were no photographers for Frozone, Joy, or Mrs. Incredible, so I had to take the pictures for that, but there was for Sully and Edna Mode. So, yeah. After that, after we had our snack and we met all of them, we headed to Mickey and Minnie's, scanned into there at 11, and then I booked Tiana's for 4:20 because I knew my youngest and my other kids wanted to re-ride Tiana's, so I booked it for later for Magic Kingdom at that point. We mobile ordered Backlot Express after we got off of Mickey and Minnie's, and then we had Standby Skipper had booked us a Haunted Mansion for 5:20 at Magic Kingdom as well, so we had those for later. Tower of Terror, we skated in at 12:25. For some reason, they only had one side running this day, and it was a 90-minute standby wait, so I don't know if there was issues or why they only had one side running. So we scanned in at 12:25, and we didn't get off until 1:02, so that was quite a wait for Lightning Lane. But my kid really wanted to ride it, so we got on Rockin' after this using our Fast Pass. Excuse me. And I think we're off there by 1:26. After that we did some shopping, and we were kinda done with Hollywood Studios at this point, so we got on the Skyliner, went back to Pop Century at 2:31, had a little break at the room before we headed to Magic Kingdom, so we were back. Oh, we did do a side quest to Epcot because I didn't get to see the UK or the Canada Pavilion, and then we really wanted to try the patisserie that's there that we didn't get to try the day we were there. It was really busy. So we took a side quest to Epcot on the way to Magic Kingdom. So we went through the International Gateway, went to the patisserie, had some snacks there. They were really good. then went through Canada and the UK, and then went to the monorail and took the monorail to Magic Kingdom. So
all the
big side quest, but yes. I got to see the rest of the little countries, so that was nice. But we were in line for the monorail at 4:45, and we were through Magic Kingdom gates by 5:10. At this point, we did use our Fast Pass. My husband and I did not ride at this point, but the kids did, so we did use the Tiana's Fast Pass. We then went over to Haunted Mansion to use their Fast Pass. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it had been down, but the standby line was back past where the Liberty Bell the line used to be. So we scanned in, and even the Fast Pass lane was really backed up. So we were like, I don't know if we want to do this. So we ended up not doing it. We scanned in and then just decided we're not going to do it. So we got out of the line. We went to Columbia Harbor House and did a mobile order for dinner for that time. After that, we headed, because we knew we had our dessert party, so we headed over to Tomorrowland. We got to see the Frozen Castle show on the way. That was really cute. I'd never seen that before, so we kind of just watched it as we were walking through. We had Tron. This was our single pass lighting lane. So we scanned into Tron at 6:25, and we were off by 6:52. This was another family favorite.
You're including your
Yes, he actually did ride this, and he was fine. He had no issues.
And it's still red.
It is still red. Yeah, we were red. I was a little sad. I know you've said, I think in the past, that how short it feels, and it does feel very short. And even like, I loved the part where you go outside and you're like in the outside area. That felt too short to me. I wish it would have been outside more.
But for people like your husband, sometimes these rides are more doable because of.
And maybe that's why. Yeah.
But it does feel, for those of us that like coasters.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, it's already over.
And I think the fact that I think the reason Guardians gets to him so badly is because it spins. Like, you're spinning while you're on the road, and that just gets to him. So this one doesn't do anything like that. So it was a little bit easier. But that's another family favorite. All of us loved. Like, I wish I could have done it again, but I wasn't going to pay for it again, and I didn't want to stand in the 80-minute line to do it. So didn't end up doing it again. But we got off of there. We knew at this point we wanted to stay in this area because we didn't want to be on the opposite side. We knew that the parade was coming. Didn't want to be stuck. My 14-year-old decided he wanted to go off on his own and do some pin trading. So I told him, please stay on this side, like of the Tomorrowland. He did not listen, and that ends up becoming an issue later.
Feels like 14.
Yes. So we'll get to that. But the rest of us, we went on Carousel of Progress. I always have to go on it. I just love the song. I know it's got some like past issues, like, but I like the song. And it just feels nostalgic.
Yeah. I think a lot of people do. I think I might be one of the only haters.
And I feel like, has it had some changes? Because I feel like it's not as bad as it used to be. Or maybe I just like have blocked it out. I feel like they've changed it to make it a little bit more,
I don't know,
modern.
They are going to change
Okay.
it, but as of right now, it's kind of the same.
Yeah. Okay. So we did that. We went at 7:40. We checked in for our dessert party, got our bands, and then they told us what time to be back. So we went and had some time after that. We didn't do, I don't think we did any rides after we checked in. We just kind of walked around, did some pin trading. We were back in the plaza area at 8:30. Could not find our 14-year-old. We called him, told him to meet us there. He got stuck on the other side because he'd gone into Adventureland. They would not let him pass through, even though the parade was over. They made him go all the way down to where the Christmas tree is, and then rope all the way back around. And my husband was like trying to meet up with them and couldn't find him. He had cast members trying to help him find him. They ended up finding him like 5 minutes before the fireworks started. So they didn't make it, but stressed us out a little bit. So, yeah.
That's the risk you take when you go out by yourself and don't really.
Yes. But we did get to see the fireworks. We had a great view. We kind of there's some, in that plaza area, there's some trash cans, and we kind of sat right there, and there was no one in our way. So we got a really good view of the fireworks. So we did the fireworks, and then the dessert party after that. After the fireworks were over, they said we could stay until 10:30. We only stayed until 10:15. I liked the dessert party, but I wish there were more options that weren't just sugar. I know it's a dessert party, and that's what you're getting, but I wanted like some charcuterie type stuff. And they had cheese and crackers, but it was just like little cheese and little crackers.
They used to have more. And it's a bummer to me because if they did have more savory, then it would feel like a meal.
Mhm.
But because it's so sugary, not.
Yes. Yeah, and I tried one of everything, but I couldn't even eat everything. It was just so much sugar. I just, wanted something to cleanse my palate at between, and I couldn't because it was just all sugar. But, yeah, it was
You're like cake and then cheese
yes.
and then cookie and then cheese.
Yes. Yeah. It was good, though. I mean, for the price, it's worth it, especially you get the view of the fireworks that you don't have to stand. It was crowded this night too because it was not a party night, and I could feel the crowds even though we were in a spot where we weren't around crowds, you could tell it was crowded this night. So, it was definitely worth it for the price. I'll definitely do it again if we have the chance, but just a lot of sugar. Just give us some more meats or cheeses or something. I don't know. Yes.
Something. Balance
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And I say that too as a sweet tooth person.
I'm a sweets person too, but, man, there's some point you have too much sweets, especially by the middle of the weekend, the Disney World trip, you've had a lot of sweets, so, yeah. But we finished the dessert party. We stayed until about 10:15, got into the Magic Kingdom bus stop, and we were back to Pop by 10:45, and we were in bed, had showers, and in bed by 11:40 this night. And
That schedule that you just described is gonna be appealing to some people, I think, for the post-fireworks dessert party because you lingered there
Mhm.
while all those crowds poured out.
Yeah, that's the reason I booked it because we did not wanna be in the crowds. We didn't wanna do the pre and then be in the crowds. So that's why I booked the post. I think I heard you mention it or I saw your post on your website, and it worked well. My husband does not do crowds, so this was perfect for him.
I don't do late nights anymore,
Mhm.
but this is a great way to avoid the fireworks. And then, like, the timing that you just said is, like, 10:15 bus stop, 10:45 you're back on the ship.
Mhm.
Like, that was
Yeah,
perfect.
there was no line, so that was nice. Yeah.
Okay, that's a great selling point for that version of the dessert party.
I would definitely do that version again versus the pre, I think, because 'cause I've done the pre we did the pre last trip, and this seemed to work better. Plus, our kids are older now and they can hang, so that was nice.
And you had rope drop well, no, you had gone early that day.
7:30 was we woke up that day, so not a rope drop, but still a big day. We did 24,871 steps, so still a lot of steps.
Your kids are troopers.
They are. I wasn't sure how my 7-year-old was gonna go. I was like, he's right in that age where maybe he could need a stroller, maybe not, and he did great. He
Mhm.
did great the whole week.
Yeah, that's sort of the in between. You
Mhm.
don't know.
Yeah.
They're like, "I'm not a baby."
Yeah.
And it's like, "Yes, but you do have little legs."
Yes.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
good job.
Yes.
Okay, so the next day was Thursday, December 18th, and Animal Kingdom time.
Yes. So this day, I don't know if you can tell, I have some congestion. I started feeling bad this day. Like, I woke up, I was achy, didn't have any fever, but just did not feel good. And I didn't know if it was just, all the running around that we have done, but I just did not feel well this week. So we had originally planned to rope drop this day as well, and park opening, I think, was at 8 o'clock for early entry. I think it was at 8 this day. I woke up and I told my husband, "Can we please just sleep a little bit longer? Like, I need some more sleep." So he's like, "Yeah." So we ended up actually purchasing Flight of Passage this day, even though we weren't planning to, we were gonna rope drop it. So we've purchased Flight of Passage, and we canceled Tusker House and just slept a little bit longer. We slept until about 7:30, and then I had booked Flight of Passage for 9, so we were out of our room by 8:30. We also missed a bus this day, we got to the bus stop and saw the Animal Kingdom bus driving off, so we just got a Lyft. We did not pay for minivan because it was pretty expensive, so I probably wouldn't do that every time, so we just got a Lyft to Animal Kingdom.
And the Animal Kingdom drop off is really
Yeah, yeah, it's, right up front, so it's not as much of a perk to book a minivan for that park versus booking for Magic Kingdom, so we just did a Lyft, and we were dropped off to the park by 8:45. Navi River, I'd originally booked it for 10:40, but Wait Magic modified it for us to 8:25, and we scanned in at 8:55 to Navi River. Then we scanned into Flight of Passage at 9:10 and did that ride. I remember being so amazed by that ride, and I still am amazed by it, but it felt blurry this time, and I don't know if that's, a new thing or if there are issues with it, but it didn't seem as clear.
a lot of people are feeling this way. It's like it's digital,
Mhm,
so you wouldn't think it would wear like film,
mhm.
but it does seem like it's in need of a little
Yeah, it's still, something that's, not like any other ride that you know of, but it felt a little bit dated or something was wrong with it. So, but we did Flight of Passage, and then we did Satuli Canteen. We did a mobile order for breakfast, and that was really good breakfast. I'd wanted to try it for lunch, but we ended up, spoiler alert, we didn't go back for lunch, but did Satuli Canteen. Then we did our Kilimanjaro Safari. And then after we scanned into Kilimanjaro Safari, Standby Skipper booked Test Track for us for later that night because I knew this was our last park day, and I knew that my kids were going to want to repeat some of the rides that were their favorites. So I booked that for 7:54 for later that night. And then we went and did Gorilla Falls. We got a snack from the Zuri Sweets shop, which they have really cute snacks and like huge Mickey Mouse cookies with fudge. So those are really good. We ended up going to Rafiki's around noon, and I really wanted to do the animation experience because I'd heard good things and all my kids love to draw. So we did get into that right before it started. A little disappointed because it was the chief from Zootopia, so it wasn't like a character that all my kids love. So my 2 youngest, they kinda got bored with it, but they gave them crayons just so they could color while we were doing it, and me and my oldest sat there and did the whole drawing experience. So that was fun, but just not a character that most people like, I guess, necessarily, that you would want to be excited about.
Yeah, they're really focused on Zootopia right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. We got back to Animal Kingdom. We got on the train back to Animal Kingdom at 1:13. Still wasn't feeling well at this point, but I was trying to soldier on for the kids. So we went and did Expedition Everest. That was a fast pass we had booked. We boarded that at 1:33. And then after we scanned in there, Skipper had booked a rock and roller coaster for later as well in the evening. After we got off of that, the kids went on it again, standby. So all 4 of the kids went on. And me and my husband went and had a beer and sat by the water. You know, they had that really nice amphitheater type area. So we just sat and watched the water while they went on again. We walked over to Dinosaur, scanned in there at 2:21. We were on the ride about to go and it went down, but luckily it came back up. It took about 10 minutes. We were on the ride, but they never took us off. They just let us go back on. So we got to see that for the final time. That's always fun. I know you don't like that ride. I'm not a huge fan of it either, but it is kind of sad that it's going away.
Yeah, but in the most recent years, it hasn't been as scary as it used to
Mhm.
because I don't like things jumping out.
Mhm.
And now when it jumps out, it's like not that big of a deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it's just the jumping out.
My little one, he was sitting closest to the one that jumps out at you, and so that scared him a little bit, but he liked it. Um,
Mhm.
when we scanned into Dinosaur, Skipper also booked Tower of Terror for later in the evening. And then we scanned into Zootopia. We had booked that as a rolling fast pass. We scanned in at 3. And then at this point, I told my husband, I was like, I can't do it anymore. I need to go back and like take a nap or something. So we left the park after that, went back to the resort. I took like a couple hour nap, woke up and still wasn't feeling well. So he ended up taking them out. And I went to bed for the night and I was out until the next day. But he took them they went to Epcot first and did Test Track. Then they went to Hollywood Studios. They did not do Tower of Terror, but they did Rock and Roller Coaster. And then they came back to the resort. And that was the end of their night. But they did 24,000 steps, and I only had 14,000 steps this day. So a little bit less. But that
You get extra credit though because
I know. Yeah. I don't know. I think it was sleep though, because I woke up the next day. I still had the congestion, but I felt like a brand new person. So I think I just needed some extra sleep or something. So I felt much better. Husband woke up the next morning. He did not feel great either. So he ended up staying at the room. And this was our free day that originally we were going to do park and just do things that we had missed, but we didn't have park tickets this day. We had talked about maybe doing another park day, like adding on to our tickets, but we decided not to, especially like when I wasn't feeling well and then he's not feeling well. So we just didn't do it. But I woke up with the kids. We slept in this day. We didn't leave the room until about 10:15. My husband did go with us. We had not had Mickey waffles this whole trip. So we had to get Mickey waffles. We went to Pop Century, the food court, and did the Mickey waffles. And then he stayed behind in the room and took a nap. And I took the kids. We decided to do like all the Christmas decorations and go to Disney Springs. So we went to Disney Springs, got there, took a bus, got there at around 11:20. I will say, if you're gonna go to Disney Springs during the holidays, go early because it was not bad. We got there to around 11:30, and it was starting to get some crowds, but it was not bad. We went to World of Disney, and it was not wall to wall like it normally is during that time. So we were able to get like some good shopping in and take our time and really see everything. So I would suggest going early in the day if you're going to go to Disney Springs during the holidays.
Yeah. When you had gone the first day, when you arrived, that was the evening on a week.
That was Saturday. We got to Polite Pig about 1:30 on a Saturday afternoon.
Okay.
It was busy.
Saturday midnight.
Yeah.
It was Saturday, and then this day that we're talking about right now.
It's Friday, and it was mid-morning. So, yeah.
A lot better.
Yeah, we had originally planned to get there right at opening for Disney Springs, but since we had not been feeling well, I just decided to let the kids sleep a little longer, but we got to Disney Springs around 11:30, went to World of Disney, did the Lego store, did Marketplace Co-op, and then we got to do that little photo pass that they have at Disney Springs, and if you have what's it called? Memory Maker. If you have Memory Maker, I would suggest going there because they have such fun pictures. And they had, like, Christmas-themed ones with the Muppets and things, and it's free. It's added onto your trip, so.
It's fun and funny because you really don't know what you're posing.
Yes, because they have the green screen, and then they just tell you, like, to do funny faces. Like, they had one they made us do, they were like, "Okay, now look shocked at the camera," and it ended up just being Figment in the background with a snowball, and I'm like, "Okay."
I know. That's what's funny about it. I'm like, why would I be shocked at
Yeah. But it was cute. It's definitely worth it if you have Memory Maker. So we did that, and then we took a bus to Wilderness Lodge. We decided we wanted to see all the Christmas decorations throughout the resort. So we went to Wilderness Lodge first, and my husband actually ended up meeting us here. He had taken a nap and felt a little better, so he ended up meeting us here. We stopped at the gift shop. My husband was on the lookout for all of the gingerbread pins because he's a big pin trader. So I was trying to find all those for him. After Wilderness Lodge, we took a boat to Magic Kingdom and then took the monorail to the Contemporary to see all of those. I know that they have the resort boat that goes between the two, but Magic Kingdom boat showed up first, so we just decided to just take that instead. And then we did the Contemporary. We saw their gingerbread, got the pin there, and then took the monorail to the Polynesian. We went and sat outside at Trader Sam's Tiki Terrace. I had never been out there, but my husband had taken a work trip, and he had gone there for drinks one day, and so he wanted to take us there. And that's a really good option if you don't want to wait for Trader Sam's. It's a good option because they have all the same drinks. They don't do the crazy things, but they have all the same drinks. But I went and got the kids some Dole Whips at the Pineapple Lanai. It's right around the corner. And then we had spiky pineapples, which were good. That was just the Dole Whip with the alcohol. So sat there for about an hour and a half just resting, and then went to Grand Floridian. I knew that it didn't have the gingerbread. I didn't realize that it didn't have a pin or anything, so we kinda went there. That was a wasted trip, and I don't know, it didn't feel as Christmassy as it normally would, I guess, with the gingerbread. So, went there. At this point, my husband decided he wanted to go back to the room because he still was not feeling great. So he took the two youngest and went back to the resort, and then me and the two oldest went to Beach Club because I wanted to finish out the gingerbread pins, hopefully for him. But unfortunately, the Beach Club was sold out of the gingerbread pins, so I didn't get to do the one there, but I did get the one from the boardwalk. And we ended up having the corn dogs on the boardwalk. That was fun. My middle one, he got the one with it's like a pickle corn dog. It's got a like the wiener, and then the pickle is around it, and then it's fried, and then it's got peanut butter. It sounds like a pregnancy craving to me, but he liked it. I'm like, I didn't even want to try it. It sounded gross to me, but he liked it. So if you're looking for something unique, you can go and have that. Yeah, we went to we got the pin there, and I know they have a pin at Animal Kingdom, but at this point I was so tired. I was like, I can't go all the way to Animal Kingdom. It's so far. So we just decided to go back to the room. My husband was like, I don't need it that bad. You can come back to the room. So we walked to the International Gateway, got on the Skyliner around 7:45. And then we were back to the room around 8:15. I did more laundry, did more packing. And then we were in bed by 11. And then
I'm thinking a lot about how difficult it is. I mean, it doesn't seem like you guys were, like, knocked out with the flu or anything, but just 2 parents, 4 kids, hotel rooms. You gotta keep going. I mean, if you're at home, then you still have kids to take care of too, but it just feels
I
especially difficult.
definitely felt, and I don't know if it's because we're older but I definitely felt the exhaustion more this trip, and maybe it was because I've had a cold or something, but it was a definite difference from our last big family trip. I felt like in hindsight, I think we should have worked in a rest day. I know my kids, like, they were go, 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 and they wanted to go constantly, but for me and my husband, I think a rest day would have been useful, maybe in the middle of the trip.
But some parents will say, I don't see the point of a rest day because my kids wanna go, go, go. I have to do something with
Yeah,
them.
that is true.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I can see both, and I bet it made you tired.
I think, though, if we had done a rest day and, like, maybe told the kids, "Let's go to the pool," or, like, just do something more relaxing than going to a theme park all day, then we probably could have talked them into it, but, yeah, I definitely in the future, I think we would do a rest day.
Yeah. It seems like your kids were up for it and you had a lot of steps, but I mean, this is a lot of days,
Yes.
and it
A
just
lot of
makes me
days in a
so
row.
tired.
Yes, yeah.
So were you were good enough to kind of get packed up and ready to head home the next day?
Yes, I mean, we still weren't feeling great. I mean, after that long nap that I had, I felt great. My husband was not feeling great, and he ended up getting worse once we got home. He's finally over it now, but then my kids all got sick, and they actually had fevers, so I don't know if we picked up the flu on the way home or what, but all 4 of them sick when we got home, so that was a sad way to end the trip, but
Merry Christmas.
yes. I've heard the flu is really bad right now too, so I don't it could be. We didn't have them tested or anything, but they're fine now.
Yeah. I mean, Disney World is such a petri dish of people, and you just never know.
I know, and my youngest, he loves to, like touches those rails and goes down with his hands, and I'm like, "Give me your hands," like, doing pre-rail the whole time, but you never know. There's so many people in a tight spot that who knows where we picked it up.
But you were able to do most of your trip
Yeah.
and feeling okay, and your kids made it the whole time.
Yes, they did. They didn't end up getting sick until we got home, then they started feeling bad. So, I think they held off until they got all the fun out of the way. Yeah. But we woke up that Saturday, we got up at 5. We were picked up by 6:15 by Mears, boarded, got back to DFW by 11:11. We had our last bit of pixie dust. We landed in the same terminal that we parked in, so that was nice.
That's so good. Me
Yes, yes, and we picked up our luggage, it was, like, right down by where our car was, so it was just all, like, perfect timing, just all together. The last bit of Disney magic. And then we were home by 4 PM that day. So
the drive home.
yes. Yeah, my husband drove, I slept. He doesn't like to be a passenger, so he drives all the time anyway, which is fine by me, I can sleep and nap, but, yeah, we were home by 4 that day. Yeah.
All right. Well, it sounds like a really good trip. I mean, like, it's pretty textbook. Like, if you wanna go this time of year, then this is kind of how to do it 'cause you
Mhm.
didn't have long waits. The only thing you said was you wish you had had a little bit more rest time,
Yeah.
but, like, you just fit so much in.
Yeah, and I'm so surprised at the crowds, like, the week before Christmas. I thought it was gonna be busier, but I think it's just the way we worked the crowds, like, we went to the parks that were not busy, so I think
Exactly.
you can definitely go the week before Christmas and not have horrible crowds if you know how to do it right. So
And this is why we put out charts that show, like, best parks per day
mhm.
because it can make a difference, and then you have the benefit of park hoppers as well to kind of bounce
Yeah.
around. So, that's really nice. You mentioned in the pre-trip, I think it was, to ask you about the total budget. Do
Yes.
you happen to have
I
that?
do. So, I've the package itself ended up being about 9,900, and that was with the free dining, that was the 5-day park hoppers, and then the 2 rooms for the 6 nights. So that was just the package, and then we paid about 186 for Mears, that was round trip. We bought magic bands, those were about 200, and then our lightning lanes ended up being 1,035 plus 119 for our flight of passage that we ended up buying, and then the dessert party was 600, and so total for all of that was 12,114. So not a cheap trip, but you divide that by 6, I guess it's not horrible.
Yeah. Not a cheap trip,
No.
but your family of 6, so I imagine, you come to expect more.
Yes, yeah. Definitely we could definitely save money, using my husband's hotel points, like staying off-site if we wanted to. So we might do that in the future. I don't know if we'll have a big trip like this anytime soon, especially with my kids being such daredevils. I think the next place we'll go is the other theme park, but yeah. So we'll probably do that next. We had talked about doing Disneyland next summer, but after seeing how my kids love like big roller coasters, we might have to just plan a Universal trip instead. So, yeah.
Yeah, and it feels like you're in a window where all 4 kids are into it.
Yes. Yeah. And they
Maybe
can
the
ride
last half of
everything.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and you had to kinda split up, maybe go
Yeah. We didn't have to do rider swap at all this time, which was nice. So that saved a lot of time. Didn't have a stroller. That saved a lot of time. So it was perfect. Perfect time to go.
saved a lot of time, but also did you wonder where to put your stuff?
That was the only thing, like, I ended up taking a bag every day, which I normally probably wouldn't have, and then my husband had a bag too, so we both had bags, but yeah, it wasn't horrible.
Yep, just a new era.
Mhm. I will say, so for the dining plan, the one thing I wish that was different for that was I wish they had a metal cup instead of those plastic cups. Why can't they have an upgraded version of a cup? I would pay to upgrade because,
To 'em.
yes, I don't like drinking coffee out of a plastic cup. I just doesn't taste right to me. So I would pay like $20 to upgrade to a metal cup if they offered it. It's just a random
Yeah.
thought I had.
Just can't take them through security.
It's true. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mhm.
No, but I feel you, like, I drink water out of plastic, but coffee out of metal?
I know.
I don't know.
Yeah,
A little bit of both. I don't know.
yeah.
I get it. Alright. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to share that.
Yeah.
Sounds like it was a really good trip.
It was a great trip.
And hopefully you guys will all be healthy.
I know. At least it happened at a time when my kids are out of school, so they didn't have to, like, miss any more school than they had already missed for our trip, so it's good.
Just Christmas. She
Mhm.
wasn't writing them.
Yeah.
So, alright. Well, thanks.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed my conversations with Megan. I felt like she fit a lot of information into this episode, and I appreciate her taking the time to share. We did keep talking on Patreon, so if you would like to listen to that, it is up right now on Patreon in both video and audio form. I think that'll wrap up this episode of WDW Prep To Go. For more information, please check the show notes in your podcast app or the description on YouTube, or head to the website, WDWPrepSchool.com. Click on podcasts at the top, scroll down to episode 494. Until next time, I will see you on the site.